Okay, sure.
Okay, this is Ed. I'm in San Diego, and as you see, Lucy Margadishian is with us also. Did I pronounce your name right?
Yes, you did. You did it very good at
Oh, it's so cool. Nice to meet you. So,
likewise.
yeah, you're in New York, right?
I'm based in New York, yes.
Yeah,
And
and
I'm an immigration attorney.
yes, I saw that, and I welcome you. So this
Thank you.
this
Thanks
is a
for having me.
program that will go on for about well, as long as people want to stay, but Um, I figure 30, 45 minutes will be enough for people to get to know each other in this environment. Hello, Stephen. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. Meet Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Steve. Nice to meet you.
You as well.
Okay. Lucy is an immigration attorney. Stephen is in charge of his life now. What's a good way of saying that?
Yeah, yeah. I've got numerous years in the total global mobility space, and at this point in time, I'm in between gigs, looking for my new adventure.
Yeah, actively interviewing. That must be a grind.
It's a pain in the ass, Ed.
That's funny. Hi, Alexa.
Hi, Ed. How are you?
Good, good. So, Alexa, meet Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Alexa. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Are you based over in New York?
Yeah, I am based in New York. Yeah, I have a boutique immigration law firm here in New York City.
Oh,
And
awesome.
Inigo is just joining. Inigo and I just came back from Amsterdam.
Oh,
Hi,
wow.
How
Inigo.
are
That's
you?
Eh,
Yeah,
awesome.
hello,
yeah. And we were
Inigo.
at the
Welcome. Yes, go ahead.
we were at the Global Mobility ALA Global Mobility Conference with Inigo last week in Amsterdam.
Yeah, so that's immigration attorneys, right?
And global mobility and immigration attorneys from mostly Europe, but also from around the world. We had interesting additions this year.
Yeah, interesting. Wow. Yeah, I've been looking
Well,
at the post.
there were many people actually from the US and also from New York. There were like maybe 5 or 6 from New York, actually, right, Lucy?
Wow.
No, we were less from New
Yeah,
York. I
at least
mean, we're
four.
a little more this. We were a little more this year than last year, more Americans. But I know there was certain sentiment that they don't want Americans at GMS, but we're creeping in.
Uh,
Got to make a strong presence for us.
Right, right.
this discrimination must end. I'm coming.
I know. I made it a point, so I got accepted this year.
That's
Well,
great.
I've been accepted in New York also, so
Yeah.
thank you.
So this program that we're doing right now is being recorded, so please keep that in mind. And it's a prequel, it's a get to know, and we have with us Susan Ginsburg. Thank you for all of your guidance and your help, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Look forward to seeing everybody next week.
Right.
Safe
S-
travels, Inigo.
Yeah, he's here in are you here now? No, you're still in Spain. Is that right?
Still in Spain, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
traveling next Tuesday, so just I will arrive the evening before.
Okay, that's great. I arrive in New York on Tuesday, flying in to LaGuardia, and looking
From
forward
San
to it.
Diego?
Yeah.
It's not a direct flight into LaGuardia, though, is it?
It's Detroit into.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Have you been to
right.
the new LaGuardia airport?
Um, yes, I flew in there. No, I was JFK last time. No, I haven't been there.
It's a
It
treat.
is it is nothing like what you remember, Ed.
Yeah.
It is completely different. Alexa, the smile
Yeah.
on your face should tell
Yeah.
everybody if you have ever been to LaGuardia in the past, what it is now is nothing like what it
Yeah.
used to be. You're gonna walk in and you're gonna go, this is not the same place.
Yeah.
Exactly. You may want to sleep there. It's
Yeah.
so nice.
It's so nice. It really, really is.
So Lachelle had a lot to do with all of that by getting the people from Skanska to work, to come into New York and work on that thing, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, she was a global mobility chief at the time during the construction. So let's say hello to Noah Klug. Welcome again. This is the first time you and I are meeting.
Thank you, Ed. Yes, indeed. Wonderful to meet you and wonderful to meet everybody else on the call.
Okay, so I want you to meet another immigration attorney, Lucy. This is Noah.
Hi, Lucy.
Nice,
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, well, welcome. And everybody say hi to Ken Oler. Ken, welcome again, my friend. Ken is going to be our keynoter, and he's going to get into a, a, a testimony about trust or lack of trust within the workplaces. And his company is called Radical. He's a senior executive there. And Dr. Ken Oler also has a PhD in what, organization development and something else, right?
Yeah, or organizational psychology, but the same thing, basically.
Great. Now, Ken was our keynoter at the EY Global Center this past November 30, and he had us all collaborating and running around doing exercises and bringing everybody together. And I'll tell you, it was a really big hit. You know, our friends at EY are not used to that kind of an environment, but they loved it. And so they invited me to come back and do it again. So we're going to do EY at the Global Center on May 14, just to let you know, but more about that later.
Welcome, Sarah and Dale.
Welcome. Okay, everybody, this is Sarah DeHaze and Dale Klein, one of our sponsors. Thank you, Dale, for all your helps. So did you and your son enjoy, I see you survived from Venice Beach, but did you enjoy your time on Venice Beach?
We did. Thank you for asking. It was definitely fun. I'm not sure if Venice Beach or Gold's Gym was better.
Gold's Gym, wow. Geez. So I mentioned when you called me that you should go with your son to the rooftop bar at Hotel Irwin, right on the Strip. Did you do that?
We didn't. You know, a 15-year-old skateboarder carrying a skateboard, I didn't think it was a good idea.
But he'd find company there, I'll tell you. Not that they break the law, but that's a great hangout and it's a great view of the beach.
I think in my next visit with minus my 15-year-old.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be more appropriate for you. But anyway, the Venice Beach, in case you don't know, is in the heart of Silicon Beach in LA, right near LAX, and is Silicon Valley South. And that's where Dale was. Not working, I hope, but you enjoying the sunshine.
It was fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for your...
Okay, first of all, Dale is always working.
Always, yes.
Dale is always working, so yeah.
Well, you're in good company here, I think. Workaholics, all of us. So, Alexa, thank you so much for being our link and involved in our events. You and I first met at the EY event, November 30, and thanks for your coordination over the past month. Brenda, if you're in the background, I welcome you to be visible and welcome back for sure. Susan Ginsburg has been instrumental in me organizing successfully this event up to today anyway, and I'm sure this success will continue forward through next Wednesday. Susan, thanks so much for all your guidance and your help.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. And I'm looking forward to meeting a number of familiar faces next week and having a really fruitful conversation.
Yeah, so our numbers are going to be about 30 people unless we have a surge. So tell me, Alexa, you mentioned earlier that the room will successfully hold or comfortably hold up to 40?
Correct. Yep. I think the cap is 43 people.
Okay. We will see what's going to happen on that. And but right now we're at just approaching 30 right now with some new additions that came in the last 24 hours. More on that later. So we will have a few more people joining us. It's a very busy week, as you all know, in our industry. Stephen McGarry, what do you think now of the new branding of WERC? Do you want to address that for our audience?
Um,
As you can tell, this is unrehearsed.
yeah, I have some personal opinions about what has happened over at the association over the last 9 months, 10 months or so. I don't think I think there's a lot of work to get done over there. I think that they need to make sure that the right people are over there to make sure that the work actually gets done. I do know for a fact that the previous CEO, Lynn, if it wasn't for her, the association would have folded um, during COVID. Because Lynn started just about 4 years ago, and when she started, she had 60 employees in 3 different countries. And it wasn't shortly after COVID hit where she realized that if she didn't do something just dramatically, that the association would fold because they would have no money, because there was no money coming in. So she really did hold that association together, and I think that her plans were her plans were something that the board didn't agree with. I don't completely agree with what happened and how it went down and other, but I'm just going to leave that alone. As far as the new branding goes, we tried WERC once. For anybody who's been in the industry for more than 10, 15 years, I think you'll remember WE or Worldwide ERC tried branding itself to work about 12, 13 years ago and got sued by the actual company that owns the WERC copyright. I think this time they did a little bit more due diligence and they did it. I think it needs more work as well. I don't think it says what the association should be. Um, so as you can tell, I'm not a fan of what has happened over there. I know it's being recorded and all that, but I am not a fan of what's happening over there. I think that it needs more work to be able to bring the people back to the association that have left. And I think they need to do a lot more than just rebranding to be able to do that.
So the coordination of the local ERCs, the growth and development, I think that's a positive thing. But yes, there has to be at the top. Who's running the show? What's this all about?
Well, the locals, going back to the locals, the regionals are actually doing very well. The regionals are getting more traction in what they want to do from their local membership. And the regionals are actually getting people going to their conferences from outside of their local membership because they want to go to those, because they think that they're getting more out of those. So and what is the GWS at this point in time? People look at it as like, okay, it's a great networking event. It's a great place to, eat and drink. Are people actually learning anything? Yeah, I think the last GWS, came away with some innovative educational sessions. Um, I think that they need to do more to bring the sponsors back. I think the regionals do much better at getting sponsors because they know that they're going to be able to have people there that they can talk to. Who's running it at this point in time? Anupam is running it. Anupam is the CEO, and he's also giving himself the title of president. So he's president and CEO of Worldwide ERC. They don't have an executive director as they did under Lynn. I'm not sure what the staff is at Worldwide ERC. I do know that they have partnered with Smith Buckland, which is an association management firm, to do a lot of their back office work for them. But I think it is yet to be seen on how this is all going to play out in the future.
Will there be a Washington meeting this fall, October?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, and
yes, there is going to be something in the fall. The association is in the process of planning it at this point in time. The foundation is in the process of planning the Thursday night gathering that we've had over the last few years. We are, but there definitely will be a GWS, and it's at the Gaylord Hotel in the National Harbor, which is actually south of DC in Maryland. Yeah, it is full go at this point in time.
Well, good. Well, thank you for that update. And I want to come back to you in just a minute. Of course, you can jump in at any time for a comment or a question. Let's go back to Ken Oler. Ken, you and I first met several years ago when you were with Aon, I believe, or something even prior to that. And now you're in Radical. So in between, was it Google and Meta or just Meta?
Just Facebook and Meta. I like to say I joined Facebook and then left Meta. I was there during that wild ride and transition.
Yeah, so you're in the top level of people development, right?
Well, thank you. Yeah, and so my background is really in management consulting. Most of my career I was with Towers Perrin prior to Aon, and then was a senior partner with Aon, and ran practices in the total reward space, change management, culture, and employee experience spaces. And then when I joined Facebook, I joined the people analytics group, which was really around the remote work strategy that Facebook was embarking on, and helping them understand and ask the questions, how can we do this and not break the company? Are people more or less productive remote? What's the best way to do this? It sort of quickly evolved into how do we best do this and find the balance between productivity and connection in the office that is also needed.
So now you're with Radical, and Radical is a small group, and you were brought in to do what?
Yeah, so I'm the head of people science for Radical. We're a small startup that we do both advisory work in the employee experience, culture, work effectiveness space, and we're also launching a employee-facing product this year that will help people build trusted connections and tell their work story, which that's really sort of in line with some of the things we'll be talking about next week, or that I'll lead people through. It's going to be a very interactive session that I'll lead.
Yeah. So yeah, 1 second. Ken, if you could just summarize the whole gist, what I'm pushing is your talk about lack of trust and then how to regain it. And then you have a scientific study, which I'm showing on our website, about all the pathways that trust is impacted or broken and needs to be replaced. I'm going to stop talking and let you summarize better.
So you want me to summarize this session?
Well, just exactly what the gist of it is.
Sure. So at the core of people's work experience, we talk a lot about the need to have and people's need to have an epic work experience. And when we talk about epic, we say that that's a experience that's full of meaning, clarity, and connection. And you need all three of those, and only about 8 out of 10 people really have that. right now, or have all of those elements. And one of the most powerful and things that it's really lacking and has been actually, it was pretty bad before the pandemic, but it's gone through some waves with the pandemic, is the connection and trusted connection. And how do we do this in what is now a hybrid reality? And so the study that we just released, and I'll be sharing some of the research around that, talks about what is the state of trust in work, trust with whom, which relationships are most important for what types of outcomes, the link between trust and productivity, because productivity seems to be so much on leaders' mind, and leaders' minds, and the working hypothesis of many is, if we can just get people back in the office, we'll heal the trust and people will be more productive, which our research largely shows is bunk. So the question is, well, how do we do this in a different way? And what are the elements of trust? And how do we get back to a more empathetic connection between people? And that's sort of the exercise I want to bring people through.
Thank you. Susan, sorry to keep you waiting.
No problem at all. Ken, really look forward to hearing from you again. It was great hearing you in Hoboken at the EY Global Center. What's great is our attendees run the gamut from a relocation management company to language services to destination services to advisory services, immigration, and
a psychotherapist.
Yes, exactly. You're reading my mind, Ed. Someone who's not here today, but I'm happy to speak on her behalf. I've been given permission to do so. Shamina Jan is not in mobility. She is a certified psychotherapist. She's on the board of the Anxiety Center. You will enjoy meeting her, Ken. And she has a wellness in the workplace practice. And so I think she will add context and kind of pull on all those threads that you're talking about of trust, wellness in the workplace, that I think will be really valuable to everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
We have two immigration lawyers here and meeting for the first time. This is like the global meeting room, as I like to call it. People coming across time and space, across borders, across cultures, for sure. And here we are. I'm in San Diego, and you're on the screen with me. So we have two immigration lawyers, Lucy and Noah. So this is not a competition. This is a we rather than an I thou thing. And so let's sing Kumbaya here. So Noah, I understand that you also have offices in Atlanta and in Houston.
That's correct. And in New York City, is where we're headquartered. And just to tell you a little bit about, our law firm and myself, I have been practicing exclusively business immigration law, U.S. business immigration law. So our clients are companies, corporations that we assist with their work visa needs and immigration compliance for their foreign national employees. And I've been doing exclusively this area of law for about 17 years now. And I previously worked for around 10 years at Fragomen, mostly short stint at BAL, prior to starting Klug Law Firm about 6 years ago. And the idea, in short, behind Klug Law Firm is that the vast majority of our team members are attorneys and paralegals, and we're fortunate to have a good-sized team and a very strong team, have a similar background to me. Worked previously at large firms, but want to do something a little bit different in terms of focusing on the quality of the legal work, and not just kind of pumping out the cases, but really ensuring only the very highest quality for each work visa petition, as well as excellence in client service, especially a big focus on responsiveness. And lastly, what we kind of call our secret sauce, so to speak, is our caring approach. And we look for only team members that have that amazing combination of great skills, legal skills and abilities, as well as caring type personalities. And we feel that creates something that we feel is, a bit magic for our corporate clients and therefore national employees.
Thank you. Lucy, tell us about your shop.
Okay, my show. So I am principal founder of a boutique law firm here based in New York City, an immigration law firm. I have been doing primarily business immigration for almost 20 years. Prior to starting my own law firm, I used to work at a boutique law firm that handled an interesting niche of healthcare for immigration practitioners. I'm sorry, healthcare for physicians, immigration for healthcare professionals. So I did do a lot of cases for physicians. I do have a chunk of my practice also that deals with physician cases, but mostly I have gotten advice. I work with startups, investors, small to mid-sized employers, and of course individuals on a variety of immigrant and non-immigrant options. For the past 2 years, I've been attending the Global Mobility Conference in Europe, and it has given me a lot of creative ideas to do global mobility for certain of my clients that are faced with the constraints of U.S. immigration.
Right. Thank you very
So
much.
that's pretty much about me.
Thank you. Dale, you and I have known each other for so long, and I thank you for sticking with my conference series all these years. My gosh. I think the first one I did in New York was in 1990 when I was publishing that magazine called New York Bound, Relocation Guide. And I think you were in that audience along with Philip Berry and I think Susan Ginsburg.
I hate to
and
say
Brenda.
I was not yet in New York. Your session was the very first session I attended in terms of like group, but it was in 1994.
Wow, it's historic.
That's a long time.
I know.
30 years.
I think I feel older
you
than
still
Joe
talk to me.
Biden, but I'm not. But I still talk to you. No, and thank you for all your help bringing these people together that will supposedly show up on in person
We
on
only hope,
Wednesday.
right?
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so tell me, did your son like LA?
That would probably be an understatement. For those of you who don't, we haven't had the conversation. My son is a very avid skateboarder, so we went on a skateboarding adventure, which is what allowed us to finish our trip in Los Angeles. And so I basically saw Los Angeles through the eyes of a 15-year-old skateboarder. So yes, there was nothing not to like. He had more fast food than he's ever had in his life. He wanted the whole experience. I didn't even know what these things were. In-N-Out Burger, Cane's. I have a
In-N-Out's our favorite.
Trivia question for everybody. Where was A&W Root Beer founded? And don't Google it, please.
I have no idea.
My California friend doesn't know. Lodi, California.
Lodi. Oh, that's in Central Valley.
The only reason I know that is that's where we started our trip. And that's what Lodi is known for. That and Premier Wine Country, evidently.
Yeah, well, in Central California, it's a wonderful area around San Luis Obispo and east of there. It's fact it's better than Napa Valley, and it's much less expensive, by the way.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. That part he probably didn't like.
Great. Inigo, welcome. Thank you so much for all your help. And I look forward to an in-person meeting. You were on my talk show 2 years ago, I think, and now we get to meet next week.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so you have a history, just in case you don't know, people. He drives around Europe in his vehicle and stays in the vehicle, which is decked out as a home, and rather than goes into hotels or Airbnb or whatever they call it over there. So, and you look healthy, and so let me ask you a question. Do you use Starlink?
No, actually, for internet, you mean, or?
Yeah, yeah, it's in mobile when you're driving around.
Well, actually, internet works very, very well everywhere nowadays. It's incredible. Like last summer, we traveled for 79 days in a row, 13 countries, and there was maybe one night without internet. So that helps for balance between work and personal life. So I tried with my wife and 3 kids. So we work on and off during the whole summer when the kids don't have school. So zero issues with internet in any country. Yeah, it's sometimes when you're in the mountains in the middle of nowhere, maybe you don't have the best connection. But in that case, it's either you stay a few hours or a night without internet, or you just move somewhere else looking for internet in case you have to do some urgent things at work. But yeah, that's working fine with me, and it's helping also for my team a lot because every year before summer, so I make sure that I organize the company so that all the decisions that may take a little bit longer if I'm away, they are taken by someone else. So everyone in my team is encouraged to take decisions, of course, with training of internal training, and they feel really excited about being able to decide by themselves, take more responsibilities, and then on my side, I kind of get rid of things that I shouldn't do as a CEO, and I've been doing for many years, and that's like kind of an excuse to stop doing them. And then once somebody takes the ownership, it happens during the years. They actually take it forever. So then once I'm back, they keep the task and so on. So this is like a personal thing, but at the same time, it's helping me a lot with my business. It's working fine. Yeah.
Well, thank you for wanting to be in my conference. I know you're touring around the U.S. next week and going to the BAM meeting in San Francisco,
Yeah.
and that will be good. I used to go to those a lot pre-COVID, and someday I'll get back there. But I will not be at that meeting. But let me ask you about what you're seeing. Is business in Europe picking up, getting stronger?
Well, I think in global mobility, last year wasn't the best year. That's what I've been seeing from RMCs and many DSPs in Europe and immigration law firms. So basically what they say is that the revenues were, in the best of the cases, flat, and maybe in some cases going down a little bit. I think the expectations are a little bit better for this year, but it's not like everyone is like excited this is gonna explode or we're gonna double the revenues and so on. So yeah, maybe that's related to 2022. That was like a big boom for every company in global mobility. And then because of after COVID, all the initiations, the expatriations took place in 2022. And then with the global economy situation, then 2023 was the year for the companies to just take it slowly. And then we'll see what happens in this year. We can't complain. I mean, we are in the language business, so we provide language training and translations mainly for immigration processes. And we've grown, I would say, even a lot. But the reason for that is mainly because of the new customers, new RMCs, new DSPs, new immigration law firms that we got in the last 12, 18 months.
Right.
But I can say that the volume per customer is exactly as the DSPs are saying. So it's stable or going down in 2023. So that's, I think, the tendency in the market in 2023.
Thank you very much for sharing all of that
My
information.
pleasure.
I look forward to meeting your wife if she's able to join us next week. Sarah DeHaze, I think this is the first time we're meeting. Welcome.
Hi there, Ed. Hello, everybody. You know what, Ed? We met many, many years ago, though. But it was in Mexico City. I think I spoke at an event that you put on in Mexico City, I want to say. Does that sound
So do you think that was in Palenque or was that in downtown at the Camino Real?
It was probably in Polanco. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
imagine.
that was with Ernst & Young as my host partner, and AIG was the top sponsor.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was a good event. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I was there on business or something, and so it kind of the stars aligned. So good to see you again.
Yeah, in fact, we're getting ready to do another Mexico, first one in like 5 years or so, but I'm not sure when it'll be yet. And we're looking at Palenque as a target area again. Yeah. For those of you who don't know Palenque, Mexico City, it's like Beverly Hills kind of place, and it's really beautiful. Okay, let's talk with you, Steve McGarry, if I may, again, and ask you to talk about the transformation era. Well, WERC is going through, that's for sure, but let's talk about the industry. Okay, AI. Let's focus on the use of AI. Is this overblown or is just a passing fad? Sure, it's a tool, but is the adoption happening? I don't see it. I see a lot of people talking about it, but I don't know what to do with it myself.
You know, I think one of the things that we do have to realize that AI is here to stay. You know, people would say that, Elvis Presley and rock and roll was a passing fad. The rap was a passing fad, things of that sort. People said that, everybody will get sick of Taylor Swift. We know that that's not true. So, AI is here to stay, and I think what companies need to do, not only on the corporate side, but on the supplier side, is they need to actually try to figure out the best way to use it. There is still, there is still um, a need for that personal touch. AI cannot sit across from somebody or be on a Zoom call or even talk on the phone with somebody and hear the stress in the voice of somebody that is moving cross state borders or cross country borders. And the mobility professionals, those of us who have been doing this for a long time, we are the ones who have basically gotten ourselves trained to understand what it all sounds like, what it all looks like, and how to deal with that. It is they are counselors for a reason. Relocation counselor. They have to be able to counsel people through one of the most stressful times of their life. And there are a lot of RMCs that will say, we will try to make this less stressful, and they can do everything they can. But the fact of the matter is, you're still picking up you and your family, and you're moving from point A to point Z, and everybody is starting over. And it is a very, very difficult time. And AI, I can't see at this point in time being able to pick up the nuances of the human being like another human being can. And I think that's where, if there are companies that are going to be relying on it to do those kind of jobs, it is going to fail. There are other areas where it will help immensely. There is no doubt about it. But when you're talking about actually dealing with employees on a one-to-one basis, I think it still has to be person to person.
Interesting.
My point of view.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for joining me. If anyone has any questions, you can certainly shoot me an email or text, or we could talk about it right now for the next few minutes. But I think we should come to a close here. And if there's anything further between now and Wednesday, just feel free to reach out to me and let me know. Dietary concerns about the lunch. so Noah has already given me his indication. Is there anybody else who has a dietary concern about lunch, salads, sandwiches, that kind of
And
thing?
perhaps that could be emailed to you or texted to you. I'm just sensitive. I'm sure I know you're sensitive to everybody's time at this point, Ed.
Yeah, okay, let's end this. I'm available 24/7 just about. So thank you. Thank you all for being here.
Ed,
you.
one thing I'm wondering if you could send if you could send to Alexa a list so security knows to let people up.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, Dale? Can't hear you.
Just one question, never having been to this office, do we say we're there for global HR? You know, just the attendees who maybe are new, right? We have quite a few people who are totally new to your event. What do they, you know, maybe you could email all the attendees telling them exactly when they arrive to the front desk, what office they need to go to and who they need to ask for, because that, you know, in any event, those things can be confusing.
That's a really good idea. Okay, Alexa, I'll wait for your email.
Exactly. And then just put on there any dietary restrictions, let me know by X. This way, you, Ed, and you, Alexa, are not scrambling. So, you know, give everybody kind of a deadline, if you will.
Yeah,
you know,
and by the way,
New York City Navigator.
I'm going to be using Whole Foods down the street from the office as a caterer. Salad, sandwiches. I haven't ordered it yet, but I'm getting into it. So,
you know, and then just a housekeeping thing. I had followed up with a couple of people on email. Your emails are, if it's not someone that you know, it's getting caught in spam in a lot of cases, and they've had to pull it out. So that happens with me also. So on these simple ones, I've had to like pull out like any kind of brochure or any kind of extra heavy content logos and stuff to make sure the person gets your email. I don't know if you want to put a read receipt or something on there so that you know that the person's gotten it.
Oh, that's a good idea. I had no idea that was happening.
No, usually people don't know, right? Unless it was just when I followed up and just sort of said, hey, you know, can you guys come? They're like, you know, we didn't get anything. And I just said, you know, look in spam. And in every instance, it was in spam.
So do you think that's because of the website that I've attached? It's a lot of megabytes.
I don't know. One person, they made one comment to me, but I don't think it's so much about your system. I think it's more about the receiving system and what kind of firewalls they might have. And what it was they got mine because it was a recognized email. I think what happens is that the first time you send something, it probably goes to spam, and once they accept it, it then
yeah, okay.
I don't know, but I think less is more in terms of once, you know, they already know they're going to the event. So maybe like when that's happened to me, I just remove my brochure, I remove my like JPEGs, I remove everything. And then they seem to get it.
Yeah.
So great point, Dale. I think maybe just you know, just kind of a housekeeping tips 1, 2, 3, 4 for everybody attending, to Dale's point, without anything in bed, you know, over the next couple of days for whatever works for you as well as for New York City Navigator.
Okay, that is great advice. Thank you very much. I will redo, make a separate thing and send it around. Thank you all.
Thank you. Looking forward to seeing everybody.
Thank you.